show you some of the progress on that. What I'm doing today. I'll show you how to sort cards and then set them up to sale. Everybody does a little bit different ways. Skip the what works for you, what works for me. Okay, and we'll get into it here real quick. Show you right here. I'm putting together team sets. Basically, this is how a lot of people say how to get rid of commons, especially from junk area range, which is basically from about 85, 86 tops to present day cards, base cards. And what I do is I make team sets and I put them in team bags. I verify the kind of the same process. I don't want anybody out of eBay or anybody else to go to it. Go through and it's not the same, but I make sure that I do a team set for some of the I'll make sure that every single card that it's supposed to be in that team set is and clear is easy because I'll tell you why. You see right here, clear always made so basically they have a checklist. You'll see you can see clear right there. A lot of people live by this for a checklist, and it's not always accurate. Just doing some putting together some team sets today, I've seen that they don't always have every card listed, so you have to watch that. The best thorough way to do it is to check a couple of other links out. Google, like if you're looking, for example, 1990 Fleer Royals team set, Google that. Do a search through Google, and people will come up with you'll find checklists where other people's done them, and you can verify. And as you can see, I got random years in here. All this stuff come out of those 5,000 count boxes I got the other day. Here's some 87 Donruss Orioles team set, more 1990 Fleer. Here's let me see if I can get this one out. I don't even know what it is. That's 90 score, 88 tops, Baltimore Orioles. And some people don't do this, but another thing I do, if it's in the set, I put it in the team set. In other words, if it, like this record breaker of Eddie Murray, he was with the Orioles, it was in the 1988 top set, so I put it with the team set. I also put all-star cards and record breaker cards, and Topps had some cards called turn back the clock cards back in those days, and I put, if it's, if the guy was pictured with the Red Sox, I put it in that set. Make it a thorough team set, because some people collect certain teams, as you can see here. Most of this right here, time range, is all late 80s sports cards to 1990 so far, what I've got in this box. But what I'll do, I'll make team sets like this, and then I'll go through and I'll sell these as team sets, and I find that's a lot easier way to move your commons. Some people like to pull out all the stars, and like for the Royals here, this set right here would be George Brett. There's people that still collect Bo Jackson. He's in this team set. A lot of people would pull out the stars like that. Then you don't have they sell those in lots to people that collect the stars. Well, then you don't have a team set. You have no way to move your commons, and then they're complaining about how do you move commons. These cards are also great, by the way, for TTMs through the mail. But if you're a collector that, say, collects a favorite team and you want to put a team set together, you probably won't want to break your team set up to send something off in the mail that may or may not come back. Over here, I've been separating. Right here's a Indians team set, my Indians. I've been sorted as I sort right here. This is stars or semi-stars. well, somewhat Deion Sanders. The reason these Hensley Bam Bam Mullins is in here, I actually have seen some guys. There's a couple of guys that actually collect his cards from some Facebook groups I'm in. So I've got anything that like Wade Boggs in here, even some semi-stars like Dwight Evans. Anybody that what it is, after I make team sets, anything I got duplicates of stars, semi-stars, I separate out, put here. Right here is actually basically a complete set of 1982 tops, missing the Cal Ripken Jr. rookie. That's the only card missing there. And here I got a little bit of a checklist that I've stuck in there, some sport flicks, some things. But and this right here, I talked about in another video. This is about a half a set, complete set of 1992 tops gold, not the regular standard cards, but the gold cards. Here, what I do, and I'll show you. I get a 5,000 count box of cards, and this one's already been broken into, but these have been sorted already. I sort the cards into stacks of each team, and that's what I've done here. Like each one of those stacks, that's an entire stack of St. Louis Cardinals baseball cards. Then I go through and I try to put together team sets that work their way in this box, or back into a separate box to be sold, whether in Facebook groups, on eBay, or trade with friends, whatever. From that point on, I take and I come over here. Sorry about turning the camera, guys. I'm sorry about that. But I come over here and whatever's left, like right here, I've got some that I'm going to go through and make team sets out of. I know I've got enough. What it is, I know I've got enough to make a team set for the 1990 Fleer of the Brewers and Mets there. And basically, I'll be honest with you, these 5,000 count boxes I got last week looked like the guy had basically opened up about 3 factory sets of 1990 Fleer and sometime or another, and just he stuffed them in these 5,000 count boxes with a lot of other cards, because I'm pretty much getting 3 team sets for every team. The only one I've not been able to has been the Atlanta Braves, and also the Seattle Mariners. And the reason was he had pulled the King Griffey Juniors out of the Seattle Mariners, and he had pulled I believe it was Tom Glavines. There was no Tom Glavines. Every Brave but the Tom Glavines. And so anyway, but every other team I'm making like getting 3 team sets out of. And I found you can do very well. A lot of people that try it do very well selling team sets from this era of cards. And this was a mixture of cards. It was mostly late 80s, early 90s. There was some mid 80s, and there was some early 80s in this lot. Right here, this is where I go back to the cards that I don't like. Say right here, this is all 88 and 89 tops Boston Red Sox. It's all Red Sox. I didn't have enough to make a team set there out of those. So whatever I take out all the stars like Boggs and Clemens from that team, even Dwight Evans, because there's some collectors in some Facebook groups I'm in that collect. They buy up everything that's in, you get about 20, 30 cards of Dwight Evans, and they'll make you an offer, and they'll pay the shipping, and they'll buy them from you. But anything that's left, I put them back in this box here, and that's what these cards are. And either I can take, when I acquire more cards, try to put together team sets with them later, or I'll take and simply put together I try to, if some people will say, well, they'll take cards like this, there's some 86 tops, and they'll put together team lots like a 500 count box and sell them on eBay or sell them in Facebook groups. But they'll just cram like a whole line of Red Sox cards, and you'll end up with stuff like this, like for example right here, 15,000 Mike Trujillo 86 tops rookie cards. Well, no kid that is a new collector, or really no collector for that matter, really needs 5,000 Mike Trujillo rookie cards from 1986. So what I try to do, if I'm going to do some kind of lot like that and sell them on eBay or in a Facebook group, I try to make sure I don't put duplicates, spread them out, give the kids a good variety. I mean, they know I list things. I don't lie. Some people will lie on eBay. They'll list things and they'll say, 1 in 10 gets a autographed whatever, and it'll be like $2.99 plus shipping is $3.50, and for 50 cards, random years of a certain team, and they'll promise that they insert like rare autographs and game used jersey cards and stuff like that every so many packs. And they say if you buy so many packs, your lots, you're guaranteed a game used jersey or an autograph from your favorite team. And then of course when you buy it, you end up getting an autograph card. Or if you buy the 3 lots or whatever, I've seen them. I've read where people say they basically give you like a no-name player's autograph. Sometimes it's even a TTM autograph of a common player. It's not even a name player, or they'll give you a game used jersey card of somebody that's basically a common. And I try not to do that. I mean, if I'm just going to list a lot of 50 commons, I'll guarantee no duplicates and various years, and I try to put them a good mix of different years, because young collectors and kids, that are collecting and they want cards of their favorite team, and they want to learn about the players that played for their favorite team years ago. They like a variety. They don't want 15 Lee Smiths or, something like that. So I try to give people what I advertise. I never try to false advertise in Facebook groups or on eBay, because when you do that, people are going to remember you, and they're not going to buy anything else from you. And if you do people right and you give them a good deal, you try to treat them right, they'll remember that, and they'll come back and buy more from you again. Over here, I got another box here, not even went through yet. I got boxes of cards that never work. And here's another box that I haven't even gone through yet. So anyway, I just work on it when I've got the time. I do the best I can. But anyway, I just wanted to do a quick little video and share how I set up my like when I buy a lot, or actually this lot here, these cards were free. A buddy of mine gave them to me. But when I buy a large like some people buy a large collection, some people buy a large lot of cards, this is how I break down and separate things. Also, I'll do things like this. These are all Diamond Kings from Donner sets. I'll separate those out, and what I'll do, I'll try to put together, I'll try to put together lots of, complete sets of all the Diamond Kings from different Donruss years and sell those, But one thing I will do, like there's a lot of duplicates in here. But when I make team sets, like if I was making a team set for the 86 Brewers, and I had the complete team set, well, this card, every Diamond King that was on that team, that they made a Diamond King of that year, it would go in the team set as well. I try to do things like that as best I can, because when you advertise a team set from a certain set of baseball cards, I feel like you should really put, every single card of a player pictured playing, that played for that team that year, whether it be record breaker, all-star cards, Diamond Kings. Some people don't do that. I do that. I try to give people that buy from me their money's worth. And here's extra all-stars that I had, there was 3 or 4 of in the box. And what I'll do is I'll see if I can't put together from the duplicates as I go through a complete set of the all-stars for the 88 tops, 89 tops. And if I can, I'll put those in a team bag, sell them as an all-star team set. If I don't have enough, then what I'll do is I'll put together little lot deals, sometimes on eBay, put it out there for put 3 Oral Hershiser all-star cards from 89 tops, and put them on eBay. List it to where what I do is I'll list shipping to cover the shipping, because I would mail these in a plain white envelope with I would just put these down in a top load, mail them in a plain white envelope. I'd put 50-cent shipping, starting bid $1, and if it just brings $1, even after your eBay fees, you'll get a little bit, you'll get a little bit of a profit. It'll actually be more than these cards' book value is, but somebody will buy it. Some Dodgers fan will buy that, and that's what I try to do to make as much profit as I can off of a lot of sports cards, from the junk era. Different people have different ideas, but that's just what I do. And also another thing I found in this was really cool that I'm going to share with you real quick was some sample cards. These are from Topps Finest, and the way that you can tell they're samples, of course, is right here on the back. It says right here, you can see it in red ink stamped across the back of the card, pre-production, I mean, sorry. And what these were cards that were basically sent out as samples before the original set was released for sale back then. And both of these have that pre-production on them, and I don't know what the value is. I'm gonna have to look these up, but I know these are a lot more rare and harder to find, and so I'm going to look up also from this 1990, I think it's 93 tops. These right here are all samples, as you can see right here on the back. Pre-production sample, design and photo selection subject to change. And these were samples that they sent out and made up, just really wanting to test the design of their cards before they actually printed and issued the sets released to the public. All of these are samples. I don't really know what the value is of these, but I'm going to look into that because I got a lot of samples in here that my buddy Gary had stuffed in one of these boxes. And I'm really just looking forward to that. Even when I say semi-stars that I separate out, a lot of people today wouldn't even know who Cecil Cooper is, but he was a big-time hitter. He was a hitting machine back in the 70s and early 80s. And there's a guy in a Facebook group I'm in that is a Brewers fan. He collects Cecil Cooper cards, and as well as a lot of other Brewers from that time range. And so I separate these out, and I'll put a lot of cards together, and make a lot of the players that he collects together. I'll throw those in, and I'll sell those to him. But anyway, hope you enjoyed this video. If you're out there and you're looking for some fun, I will tell you this is a lot of work, but if you go to a thrift store, yard sale, or if you see something on it, out there in, the internet world that's for sale, it's like a, small collection, somebody collected cards in the 80s, 90s, and it's pretty much like stuff like this time range right here. It's a lot of work, and there's nothing really worth a whole lot of money, but at the same time, if you do it right and everybody's got their own setup, you can make decent profit, good profit off of these cards and still sell them to people that wants these cards. You just got to get out there and do the best you can. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're a new collector watching this video, there's a lot of fun. Don't think just because these cards don't book for a whole lot of money, these sets from the junk era years, that is still not a lot of fun. If you're a new collector. Now, if you're a deal, somebody that's looking to get into buying and selling, these cards can be a headache at times, but that's why you see me doing what I showed you that I do. Basically, you do what you got to do, and if you do these things, there's people out there that collect certain players, certain teams, and you can move things. I will say this, it's a whole lot easier to sell a 1990 Royals team set and move all the cards for one money than it is to sell the Bo Jackson out of here and the George Brett out of here to somebody, on eBay that collects those, and then have 23 more commons that you can't move and don't know what to do with. It's a heck of a lot easier to just keep the team set together, sell them that way. And that's it. Thanks for watching. I'll be back again in the near future with more videos.